Hi everyone, Susan here. This is a quick introduction to Unit 2. I hope everybody enjoyed Unit 1. I know I really enjoyed looking at all of the websites that you chose to analyze for the simplicity message. And I'm actually going to show one or two of those in just a moment. But as an intro to Unit 2, now we're going to drop the group discussion boards. We're all going to be on one discussion board. 6 people unenrolled from the course, so we actually have a really nice size course. I think there's 12 of us, and so that's a good number for the discussion board. When it starts to get a lot bigger, I think groups can be good, but we don't have that issue right now. So for week 2, I'm very excited to see the company or organizations that you're going to choose to create your message for. Now, this can really be anything that like this company or organization needs to communicate effectively. So it could be a PowerPoint about a concept, a training issue. It could be a product, explaining a product feature. It could be a web page introducing a product. It could be a video if you have experience with video. The one thing you wouldn't want to do is, if you don't have experience with video, you wouldn't want to go out and try to shoot a video, obviously. I don't want you to get worried too much about the technology. It's really about the message. So you can really do a fantastic PowerPoint or Prezi and do a great job, and it won't be boring if you follow all of the principles that we're learning about. So don't feel like it has to be glitzy or fancy. It really doesn't. You could do a brochure. You could do a TED Talk speech where you would script it out, the message. So there's a lot of different ways to go. So think about what your strengths are. Think about what this organization needs, to communicate, and think about what you can create that's going to be a nice piece for your professional portfolio. Okay, and one other thing in this short message, I wanted to say, in the discussion board, please make sure that you number each of the questions that I ask. Obviously, you don't have to number when I say respond, but you must number them, and you really need to answer each question. I do put a lot on the discussion board. I prefer to have a really meaty discussion board analysis and assignment, and then share, and so we all benefit. So make sure you are answering each question and numbering them. And also, as we move forward, it's really important to make sure you're proofing, going back over. I'm really been seeing like a bunch of mistakes, like not capitalizing the I. An occasional typo is fine. I do it all the time. But like when you start to have a lot of mistakes, that's a concern. This is a communications course. Writing is communication, right? So let's get that right. And then the last thing is, make sure as we move forward, you are citing from your text. Like as our authors explain on page 5 or whatever, this is what it means to be concrete. Therefore, this message meets that requirement. So I'm really looking for you to be using your resources. You do not need formal citations, because I know where all of your sources are because I provided them. Just let me know, oh, this is from the video on, the Chip Heath video. So you could say, this reminded me of that example from the video, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do this week. Really quickly, I wanted to show you 2 websites from our assignments. This was, I believe Shantae picked this. This is called The Power. It's introducing Thumper, The Power of Touch. We really found this confusing. I think this is such a great example of a confusing message. It's like introducing Thumper, a hepatic communicator. I have a pretty good vocabulary, and I didn't even really know what that meant. So I had to look that up. And then you come down and you're like, lose the buzz. Okay, it's a tap. And then when I get here, I'm starting to understand what the product is. It is really something for highly technical people, and they're wearing it on their wrist. So, I mean, but I have no idea, just from right up here, which is the most important part. This is the most important part of your real estate of your website. This is your homepage, your upper part of your homepage. So I found that this was really, even though it looks terrific, super confusing. and not simple at all, not clear who your target audience is. So that was a really great choice, Shantae. I'm glad you picked it. Then we have Megan, who had to join a little bit late, but she chose this one. And I think out of all of them, this could really be, to me, this satisfies the simple criteria. I can look at it, I know what it is, and I know what it does, and I know who it's targeted to, all on this first page. So for me, this wins for the simplicity and message. And I don't know if I'm going to like the price or, you know, or why it's necessarily a family picture. However, to me, this, boom, out of the gate, we get it. So I'll be really curious to see how you guys do on unexpected and concrete. And I'm also looking for you guys to do some rewriting. Claude, you're very good at coming up with, like, you know, taglines, and some of you've been coming up with some really good stuff. Shantae, I think you even had a really good one for the thumper one. So come up with some better ideas, rewrite, okay, and have fun. So I'll see you on the discussion board.